This is strange. I feel like I'm going
It's very
live and I
live, I
should
know.
look here.
You
and
are
say
now
we're
live.
going live.
We got the right side of the table.
You
It was
do.
pure accident.
I have sympathy for Randy and Michael who spend most of their time with their backs to us.
Right.
Okay, this is the Committee of Conference on H.510, right? And I understand you have a proposal.
We do, and I'm going to give just a couple sentences of context for it. So first of all, our bill was a child tax credit bill with a small Social Security change. And that's all it did. And so looking just at the child tax credit, one of the things that I sort of was trying to think through about sort of how big it needed to be was to look at the 48 million that we had, the 22 million that you had, and sort of doing a simple split the difference as a place to start. It did occur to me when I did that we had a bigger bill. It was 50 million, and what we're dealing with now is 40 million. So if you can think about it mathematically, I shrunk it and then did the same, split the difference in the same proportion. So if all we did was split the difference, we would get 35 million for the child tax credit. By shrinking it to the 40 million, the figure is 31.7. So that was my starting place. This proposal only deals with the child tax credit. It doesn't deal with any of the rest of it. I will hand it out. It has a great little chart on it, or graph that Brand did. And, whoops, sorry. And I can explain it, or we have Graham up there, and whichever is better for all of you.
Yeah, I think you could explain it.
Okay. So it came out at 31.8, just because it's hard to target 31.7. It's $1,000 base credit. We had 1,200. It's 5 years and under. We had 6 years and under. It phases out after so 140 is the cutoff. We had 200, and it helps 32,700 kids estimated. And I'm embarrassed that I can't remember what ours was, but not a whole lot more. Yeah, not a whole lot more. And so you can see in the graph, the gray line is the House proposal, the blue is the Senate, and our this idea is the red in between. So it's actually, you can sort of visualize the compromise. So it's significantly less than what we had hoped to do. It's about 16 or 17 million less than where we hoped we would end up. But in the interest of moving forward, I think the House conferees would feel good with this. What we haven't done is we haven't talked about what would happen with the remainder of the 40 million. My hope is that if we can come to a landing place here, that some of those issues will fall into place more easily. So I'm sort of picking out pieces.
All right, well, we
keep moving.
Definitely had a different construct, so I think we're gonna have to.
Yeah. And this does not sunset. This is not, this is indefinite, which is typical of our tax code anyway.
Okay.
Generally.
So it is a $31.8 million decrease in revenue permanently, even if we get hit with a recession next year.
Well, it's indefinite, like everything else in the tax code, not permanent. And if we get hit with a recession, we might decide that the right thing to do is increase the credit, but reduce the income. You know, it's like everything in the tax code, it's adjustable. And so I've been through a pretty significant recession as chair of Ways and Means, and we actually increased taxes on some people when we went through the recession, and we reduced spending in some other areas. So I think a significant recession is going to require a whole range of responses, and we should treat this like everything else.
What I'm not clear on, and Graham, perhaps you can tell us, We sent this out with 30, well, it was 40 million because we had appropriations in it. We've also added on the retirement benefits that we're writing in S53. Do we have to include the cost of those retirement benefits in the 40, or are they covered in the budget?
The record Graham Campbell Joint Fiscal Office, you would have to cover those in the 40.
In
And
the 40,
right, and just as a reminder, the retirement pieces that are in 510 that passed the Senate are not the full suite of they include the military retirement and the CSRS exemption, but they do
Right.
not include the military survivors that was in S53. So
Okay.
you only included 2 of the 3 that were in your S53 package in 510.
in 510, right. So we have the civil service and the military, plus we upped it to 5,000. So what's the cost of the retirement package here?
So for the retirement pieces that are in H510, the total cost is, it's on that sheet. Let me just quickly do my math here. 2.38 million for the retirement package is in
So we've already been reduced to 8. And we've got another 2, so that gives us $6 million to do anything else we want,
Well,
right? More or less.
if you choose to do the retirement packages, then yes, you would
Right.
have in the ballpark of 5 to 6 million to play with for other things.
Okay. Our 6 million. Okay,
could I ask Graham a question? Graham, did you just say the retirement package was 2.85?
2.38 for the ones that are in H510. So that's, as a reminder, it's 3 pieces in 510. It's the Social Security,
Yeah.
it's the military retirement, and then it's the CSRS. The Senate also passed a full exemption for military survivor retirement pay in S53, but that's not in H510.
that's not it.
And how much the 2.38, how much is that if we didn't do the increase, the 5,000 increase in it? Maybe I would just ask you to get me that before too long, you don't
Sorry, so the 5,000 increase in Social Security?
Well, it flowed through to all, so, that was us kind of admittedly plucking it out of 53, but answering the House. So I'd just like to understand how much that increase, and it did then get tied into all 3 of them. Social
Right.
Security, military, and CSRS.
Yeah, so if you,
About recalibrating the base or not recalibrating the
Right.
base,
Just
basically.
trying to understand as we're getting our arms on the table.
so if you didn't do the $5,000 increase in Social Security, then the $1.67 million cost for Social Security would go away. And then the extra 5,000 on the 2 other retirements was about $50,000. So you would be saving $1.72 million. So instead of 2.38, this package would cost 0.66.
Okay. Any other questions?
Well, and I know that you all need to,
We need to sit down and crunch some numbers.
I just, I'm gonna make one last pitch, I think, for the 10,000 military exemption as a simple, straightforward way to resolve an issue that has been very present in my committee for the last 6 years. And, I think is a sort of, is a reasonable approach to that. I understand that your construct is more nuanced, and I understand the push towards equity in the proposal that you all put together, but I feel like we will have resolved an issue if we do a simple 10,000.
So how much would that take out of our 8 million? What's the cost of the $10,000 exemption, no AGI?
I think it's under 2. No, I'm sorry, it's 900,000.
$930,000.
930,000.
So figure a million, which leaves us 7.
I'm sorry.
Rounded to 1 million, that leaves us 7 to work with.
Yeah.
And what did you just pick?
Yeah, I'm just,
Okay.
I'm
Yes.
just,
Okay,
Simplicity has its merits.
Yeah.
you really think that'll make it go well?
I don't know. That's a really good question. I don't know.
Will it make the governor happy?
I don't know.
If it doesn't, it's not going away. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. We'll,
Yeah.
take a few minutes to talk and,
Okay.
I don't know how long we're gonna be on the floor today.
We'll be short.
You think it'll be short? No.
We've got 2 vetoes in a couple minutes and.
Okay, then you need, yeah.
But, we can leave, other than the vetoes, or when we're reporting a bill, we can leave the floor more easily than you can. So if you get a break, even if it's a brief one, let us know and
Okay,
we'll figure out something.
okay.
And we,
Run to the closet and text, see, we can't have things on, so I have to get up, go out to the closet to say, move the meeting.
oh, I know.
We will see your message immediately while we are on the
One of those charming things about the Senate.
Well, to be fair, if we did have machines in there.
We'd all be
I
doing
think 2
emails.
people would be paying attention if they were allowed to.
Yeah.
I've come to appreciate the strictness of it all.
Yeah, in some ways, there's an appeal to it.
Even Senator Ash came to the point of not wanting computers in committee, and he was the original techie in this building.
Yeah.
But
Well, I'll never forget the conference committee where I had no paper because we didn't deal with paper. So I brought my iPad because that's where all my brain is. And he wouldn't let me use it. I was like, come on.
I will say, when you've done all your stuff on the computer and you get to the folder,
Yeah.
it becomes very
it
hard.
is.
It's
Yeah.
really hard.
I've got an email with my witness list, and I've got the summary, but they're all on the
Learn how to
computer.
print from my phone.
Maybe I'll try, you can show me how to do that, because I can't print from the iPad.
And are you allowed to have an Apple Watch on the floor?
Well, that is a loophole that I'm not sure people have
We
really.
don't want to ask.
Yeah.
That one if you want to borrow it.
No.
I don't wear it. Don't use it.
Okay, so we will see you maybe we have committee at 1:30, but we're just gotta we got some gubernatorial appointments. We'll be out by 2.
Okay. As I said, even if you have a 15-minute break,
Yeah.
if you want to help quickly,
Okay.
we can
Well, I think
almost always.
it's gonna take us, we got a lot of huddling happening in this committee right now.
Yeah, and we're huddling on miscellaneous tax and we just walked out of a briefing on that and the yield bill might come to us at some point, so.
At some point.
There's also.
It might. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,